You may think eggs are one of the most complete foods on the planet, and in many ways you'd be right. But what if I told you that after 50, eating eggs alone could quietly leave a biological gap in your body that affects your cholesterol, your gut, even your long-term inflammation levels? And here's the part almost nobody talks about. It's not what eggs have that becomes the problem. It's what they don't have. And there is one simple addition, something you probably already have in your kitchen, that can completely change how your body processes eggs at the cellular level. Stay with me, because once you understand this, you may never eat eggs the same way again. I'm Dr. Richard, and today we're not attacking eggs. We're going to understand them properly, scientifically, clearly, and in a way that actually matters for aging biology. Because after 50, your body doesn't respond to food the same way it did in your 20s. Metabolism slows, inflammation control becomes more sensitive, gut efficiency declines, and cholesterol handling becomes more reactive to what you eat in a single meal. So when we talk about eggs, we're really talking about how your body processes one of the most concentrated protein foods available inside an aging system. Let's begin with what eggs actually do inside your body. Eggs are, without exaggeration, one of nature's most efficient nutrient packages. Inside a single egg, you get high-quality, complete protein, meaning your body doesn't need to combine it with anything else to use it. Every essential amino acid is there, and those amino acids go straight into muscle repair, immune cell production, and enzyme creation. Then there's choline, a nutrient most people don't even think about until it's missing. Choline is critical for your brain. It helps build acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter involved in memory, focus, and even muscle control. This is one reason eggs are often linked to cognitive support in aging adults. You also get vitamin B12, selenium, and small but meaningful amounts of fat-soluble vitamins that support nerve health and antioxidant defenses. So yes, eggs are powerful, but here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Because power in nutrition is not just about what a food contains. It's about what happens after digestion begins. And this is where eggs become incomplete in a way most people never realize. Eggs contain almost no dietary fiber, and they contain no vitamin C, and they contain virtually no plant-based phytonutrients, the protective compounds found in fruits and vegetables. Now you might be thinking, so what? I'm just eating eggs, not a salad. But inside your body, this missing trio changes everything. Let's break it down. Fiber is not just for digestion. That's an outdated explanation. Fiber acts like a biological regulator. It slows down the release of nutrients into your bloodstream. It binds to bile acids in your gut, which influences how your liver manages cholesterol. And it feeds your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria that directly influence inflammation and metabolic health. Without fiber in the same meal, eggs move through your system in a more unbuffered metabolic state. Not dangerous in isolation, but less balanced for long-term cardiovascular health, especially as you age. Now let's talk about vitamin C. Vitamin C is not just an immune vitamin. It is a repair molecule. It supports collagen production, which affects your skin, joints, blood vessels, and even arterial flexibility. It also regenerates other antioxidants inside your body, helping reduce oxidative stress, the kind of cellular wear and tear that accumulates more rapidly after 50. So when eggs are eaten alone, your body gets protein and fat metabolism without the antioxidant reinforcement that plant foods provide. And that imbalance matters more with age. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Inside your gut, something very important is happening every time you eat. Your microbiome responds to your meal within minutes. When fiber is present, beneficial bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids, compounds that reduce inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and support the gut lining. But when a meal is mostly protein and fat, like eggs alone, that microbial activation is weaker. Again, not harmful in itself, but less optimal for long-term metabolic balance. And this is why some people notice that meals like eggs alone don't keep them full as long, or don't feel as energizing when eaten without anything else. Now let me be very clear here. Eggs are not the problem. The problem is isolation. Because in nature, eggs were never meant to be the entire meal pattern every time you eat. They were meant to be part of a broader nutritional environment. And that brings us to the turning point of this entire discussion. Because there is one simple addition that changes everything. One thing that restores balance to the meal. One thing that transforms eggs from a protein-heavy food into a metabolically complete system. And that one thing is plants, specifically fiber-rich, vitamin C-rich vegetables and fruits. Now I want you to understand what actually happens when you combine them. Let's say you eat eggs with bell peppers, spinach, or tomatoes. Here's what changes inside your body. First, fiber binds to bile acids in your digestive system. This signals your liver to use circulating cholesterol more efficiently. Second, digestion slows slightly, not in a bad way, but in a stabilizing way. Your blood sugar response becomes smoother. Third, vitamin C begins supporting antioxidant activity at the cellular level, helping neutralize oxidative stress generated during metabolism. And suddenly, the meal is no longer just eggs. It becomes a coordinated metabolic event. Protein for repair, fiber for regulation, plant compounds for protection. This is what your body is actually designed to work with. Now let me give you something practical, because theory alone doesn't change health outcomes. If you eat eggs in the morning, here's how Dr. Richard would want you to think about it. Instead of eggs alone, build a simple structure. Add spinach cooked lightly in olive oil, or sliced tomatoes on the side, or bell peppers cooked into the eggs themselves. Even something as simple as citrus fruit after the meal can add a vitamin C boost that supports collagen and antioxidant pathways. This is not about restriction. This is about completion. And this becomes especially important after 50 because your body is less forgiving of nutritional gaps. Small imbalances don't show up immediately. They accumulate quietly over years. Inflammation levels drift upward. Energy becomes less stable. Vascular flexibility slowly declines. And people rarely connect those changes to something as simple as how they eat eggs. But now you do. There's another misconception I want to correct before we finish. Many people still believe that eggs are bad for cholesterol. But modern nutritional research, including large reviews referenced by organizations like the American Heart Association, shows that for most people, dietary cholesterol from eggs has a much smaller impact on blood cholesterol than once believed. What matters more is overall dietary pattern, especially saturated fat intake, fiber intake, and metabolic health status. In other words, eggs are not the enemy, but eating them in isolation, without plant-based balance, is where the opportunity is lost. So let's bring this all together clearly. Eggs give your body high-quality protein, brain-supporting nutrients, and essential building blocks for repair. But they are missing fiber, vitamin C, and plant-based protective compounds. And that missing piece becomes more important with age because your gut, your metabolism, and your inflammation control systems become more sensitive over time. When you add vegetables or fruits, especially fiber-rich and vitamin C-rich foods, you are not fixing eggs. You are completing them. You are restoring the balance your biology expects, and that is the real secret. So here's my final message to you. If you're eating eggs regularly, Don't change the eggs. Change what you build around them. Because sometimes the difference between a good food and a truly powerful meal is just one addition you were never told to include. I'm Dr. Richard. If this helped you see something new about how everyday foods affect your body after 50, leave a comment and tell me how you usually eat your eggs. And if you want more science-based breakdowns that connect simple foods to long-term health, make sure you subscribe, because what we cover next may change how you think about your daily meals even more. Stay well, and I'll see you in the next one.